Why are you doing this? We were friends. Friendship doesn't mean sacrificing my family.
A week before the college entrance exam, I asked my parents to leave 50 rooms empty at our family's hotel, free of charge, for my classmates. When the results came out, our class president, Madison, had bombed her exam. She led the whole class in spreading rumors online. She claimed our hotel ran construction all night just to sabotage her chances. The post went viral. The hotel got reported. It was shut down. My parents lost every cent of their savings. Their hair turned gray almost overnight. Not one of the 50 classmates who stayed at our hotel said a single word in our defense. When I opened my eyes again, I was back. 1 week before the exam, my parents were talking at breakfast. "Sweetheart, the exam is coming up. Should we hold rooms for your classmates?" I put my fork down. No, not one room. My mom and dad were stunned. "But honey, that's the only hotel near the school. Everything else is 5 miles out." I smiled. That's exactly the point. I stood at the classroom door and looked at those familiar faces. My stomach turned. I remembered it clearly. In my last life, my family got dragged online until our business was destroyed. Not one of these people spoke up for us. Madison started it. She posted that our hotel ran construction in the middle of the night, just to ruin her exam. The post got tens of thousands of likes, 10,000 shares. It trended for 2 straight days. My parents had never wronged anyone in their lives. They were honest people, ordinary people. For 2 days, the hotel phone never stopped ringing. Cancellations, abuse, threats. City inspectors showed up to investigate. Code enforcement sent someone to measure noise levels. People hung protest banners at the entrance. My father's hair went gray in a matter of days. My mother cried so hard she nearly lost her eyesight. In the end, the hotel was ordered to shut down. Fines, refunds, contracts canceled. Our family's savings were wiped out completely. I pulled myself out of the memory and walked into the classroom. It was loud. Groups of students comparing notes, flipping through textbooks, talking about where they'd go after the exam. I sat down at my desk and hung my bag on the side. Olivia, sitting up front, turned around and smiled. "Emily, did you finish the homework?" In my last life, she stayed in our most expensive suite. My mom upgraded her room herself, said a girl deserved comfort. She got 3 days of free breakfast, too. And when people were tearing me apart online, she said nothing. I looked at her and didn't answer. She shrugged it off and turned back to chat with Madison. Madison walked up to my desk. "Emily, you're here." I looked up at her. Madison, my best friend. We'd been desk partners since freshman year. I used to bring her home on weekends. My mom would cook for her. My dad would drive her back. Her family didn't have much money, so I always covered the bill. She told me she'd never stayed at a 5-star hotel, so I took her to mine. Swimming, buffet. Never let her pay a dime. I thought we were friends. Turns out she was the first one to spread the rumors. "What's wrong?" Madison tilted her head, a hint of concern in her eyes. "You look tired. Didn't sleep well?" "It's nothing," I said flatly. She sat down beside me, dropped her bag, and leaned in close. "Emily, where are you staying for the exam?" In my last life, this was exactly how it started. "My own family's hotel," I said. Madison's eyes lit up. "Perfect. Your hotel is 5 minutes from the test center. You won't even have to wake up early. I'm jealous. You wouldn't have to spend a dime. Doesn't the school arrange housing? Just stay there." Madison blinked, caught off guard. "The school housing is way out. It's on the other side of town, and the test center is downtown. An hour less sleep, easy. An hour less. This is the exam of your life. Can your mind really handle an hour less sleep?" She said it like she'd rehearsed it. "Then go to bed earlier," I said. She hesitated, glanced at me. Something unspoken behind her eyes. "But if there's a better option," she said, "why settle for worse? Your hotel is 5 minutes away. It'd be perfect for everyone. We're classmates. We should help each other out. Help each other out. I'd heard that phrase too many times in my last life. That exact sentence convinced me to help. I was the class president's best friend. My family owned a hotel. Why wouldn't I help? I did help. And look what it got me. The bell rang. I didn't answer her. I stood up, grabbed my book, and walked to an empty seat in the back. Madison turned and watched me go. I opened my textbook and didn't take in a single word. All morning, anger and old grief burned in my chest. Every time I looked up at those familiar faces, I remembered their silence. 50 faces. I studied each one, memorized them. Not one of them had stood up for us. The bell rang for lunch, and the room erupted into noise. Some packed up, some headed for the cafeteria, some argued about the afternoon exam. I took my time packing my bag. Sure enough, the complaints started. "This is ridiculous," said Ryan, a guy in the third row, slinging his backpack over his shoulder hard enough that the whole room heard it. "School housing is clear across town, but the test is downtown. I'm losing an hour of sleep for nothing." "Exactly," said Sarah, well known for being a light sleeper. Last spring trip, she complained all night about the air conditioner next door. "If only I had a room to myself," she said, quiet. I could sleep whenever I wanted. "Same," said Jessica, slapping her book on the desk. "The problem is, every hotel near the school is too far. 10 minutes by cab, minimum. There'll be traffic both exam days. What if we're late?" "It'd be perfect if there was a hotel right by the test center," someone said, 5 minutes away. As they talked, their eyes drifted toward me, one by one. I kept my head down, pretending to pack my bag. I heard Olivia behind me. "What's wrong with Emily today? She looks awful. Didn't sleep?" Then Madison, soft and gentle. "It might be the pressure. From the exam coming up, listen to her. How thoughtful." My jaw tightened. I walked faster down the stairs. The cafeteria was packed. I got my tray and found a corner. Eating alone felt strange. I used to sit across from Madison, talking through the whole meal, like we had endless things to say. Now, I wondered how much of that talk was her laying groundwork. I took a bite of food. It tasted like nothing. When did I start being this generous with everyone? Probably freshman year, at the fall festival, when I brought snacks from home to share. Everyone said they were amazing. Being liked felt incredible. I got used to it. Buying coffee before exams, bringing people home on weekends, birthday gifts for everyone. My parents never told me to stop. They encouraged it. Classmates should help each other, they said. That's exactly why they assumed I'd help again this time. But it was always me helping. No one ever helped back. 3 years of it. And in the end, not one fair word. After lunch, I called my mom. She picked up on the second ring. Warm as always. "Hey, sweetheart, did you eat?" "Yeah." "Mom," I leaned against a pillar and lowered my voice. "Have the rooms for exam week been booked yet?" "Oh, they're all booked," she said, cheerful. "As soon as we listed them, they went fast. All 50 rooms. People are still calling to ask. I even asked your dad if we should open the staff dorm too, but he said no. Don't disturb the staff. 50 rooms, fully booked." I almost laughed. In my last life, those 50 rooms sat empty, given away for free. This time, every single one was paid, full price. Not one left. "What's wrong, sweetheart? Does one of your classmates need a room? I can check for cancellations." "No, Mom. Don't save anything for them. Not a single room." She went quiet for a second. After 3 years, she knew exactly how I usually treated my classmates. This was strange, coming from me. "Are you sure?" she asked again. "Really sure." "Okay then," she said. "Just focus on studying. Don't push too hard. I'll take you out for something good after the exam." Okay. About 10 minutes later, the classroom door swung open. Madison walked in, followed by Ryan and Daniel. She marched straight to the front. "Everyone, listen up. I have an announcement." Heads lifted off desks, groggy. I talked to Mr. Anderson about the housing situation, she said, scanning the room. He said the exam is ultimately each student's own responsibility. As long as you show up on time, the school doesn't control where you stay. If you want to book a hotel, that's on you. A buzz ran through the room. Some eyes lit up, some people whispered, some looked relieved. Madison's tone shifted. As you all know, the hotels near the test center are expensive. The cheapest rundown places start around $300 a night. Anything decent is $500 or more, and even those are 2 or 3 miles out. Her eyes drifted to me. Then everyone's did. I rested my chin on my arm and stared back, expressionless. Emily's family owns a hotel, Madison said, smiling. It's 5 minutes from the test center. 5-star, excellent rooms. Runs over $1,000 a night. The room went quiet for 2 seconds. A flicker of something crossed her face, quickly covered by a smile. That's just what I'm thinking, she said, lowering her voice. Nobody wants bad sleep the week of the exam. If there's a better option, who wouldn't want it? There's only 50 of us. 2 nights. It's not a big deal for her family. Right, Olivia jumped in, leaning forward. Emily, your family's hotel is so close. 2 nights is nothing for you. Exactly, Ryan said. Emily, you're always so generous. How about helping out one more time? This is the biggest exam of our lives. You wouldn't want us bombing it because we didn't sleep, right? Daniel chimed in too. Come on, Emily. Your family isn't hurting for that little bit of money. Think of it as a good deed. Everyone will remember your kindness. Just ask your parents. The rooms are empty anyway. And we're not asking for free. We can write good reviews, promote the hotel online. One voice after another, all around the room. I slowly straightened up in my seat. The room fell silent, waiting for my answer. Madison stood at the front, head tilted, that same gentle smile on her face. I looked at that face, that smile, and finally spoke. Sorry. Our hotel is fully booked. The room went dead silent, then exploded. Fully booked? How? Rooms for exam week get booked a month in advance, usually. But we hadn't booked yet. You never told me you wanted to, I said flatly. Madison's smile froze. She opened her mouth, closed it again. Something in her eyes I'd never seen before. Emily, she said, stepping toward my desk. Voice low enough only I could hear. Why didn't you say something sooner? I've been talking to everyone for days. Why didn't you ask me? I said, calm as still water. Her face shifted through several emotions. Her eyes welled up. Her lips pressed thin, like she might cry. Emily, do you have a problem with me? Her voice trembled. I feel like you've been avoiding me all day. You're overthinking it. Then why'd you move to the back row? You've always sat next to me. It was too loud up front. Madison froze, staring at me for several seconds, then turned and walked back to her seat without another word. I put my head down on my desk. My eyes stung, but I made sure no one saw. First period after lunch was math. I forced myself to focus. I'd already lived through this exam once. The material wasn't unfamiliar, but this time, I couldn't afford to slip. I want to do well, not to prove anything. For myself, I'm not letting someone else's mistake destroy my future again. During the break, Madison didn't speak to me. She sat quietly, flipping through her book, saying a few words to the girl beside her in a soft, distant voice. I didn't mind. Last period, Mr. Anderson came in. Middle-aged, thinning hair, thick glasses, methodical. Regarding housing for the exam, he said, adjusting his glasses, Madison came to talk to me this afternoon. My position is, where you stay is your own choice, as long as you're not late. But I want to remind everyone of one thing. Don't put pressure on your classmates. His eyes swept over me. Emily's family runs a hotel. That's their business, not yours. Don't push them. You're all 18. Old enough to know better. The room went quiet. Then I heard Olivia mutter under her breath, We didn't say anything. Mr. Anderson ignored her and kept going. I stared at the formulas on my exam prep sheet, feeling a mess of emotions. Mr. Anderson was a good teacher. In my last life, he'd spoken up for me too, when the online hate was at its worst. He posted in the class group chat that as far as he knew, there was no construction noise from our hotel. Nobody listened. Nobody believed him. After the bell, I packed up to leave. Madison stood up, walked to the front, and picked up the whiteboard eraser. She glanced back at me once. On the bus ride home, I watched the streets pass by outside the window. My phone buzzed. A text from my mom. "Sweetheart, the guest who booked 5 rooms today just canceled. Change of plans. If your classmates need them, let me know." I stared at that message for a long time. I typed something, deleted it, typed again, deleted it. Finally, I sent just one word. Okay. The next morning, I found a crowd gathered around the bulletin board by the entrance. A handwritten poster hung there. Exam week housing sign up. The handwriting was neat, clearly Madison's. Below it, a table where students could register for help finding accommodation. Coordinate what, exactly? Whose hotel? I walked past without stopping. In class, Madison was already talking to Olivia. "I've already contacted a few hotels and got a group rate," she was saying. "About 60% of the normal price. But the closest ones to the test center wouldn't budge. They don't need the discount business." Olivia frowned. 60% of 300 is still over 200 a night. 2 nights? That's 500. My parents won't be happy about that. "There's nothing we can do," Madison said. "We can't sleep on the street." The morning went by normally. The only strange part was the people who came to talk to me. First, it was Olivia, eating chips at my desk. "Is it true your hotel has no rooms left? I heard 5 got canceled yesterday. Is that real?" "I don't know," I said. "I didn't ask." "How could you not know? It's your family's hotel. My parents run it," I said. "I just focus on school." Then Ryan came over, leaning against the wall, hands in his pockets. "Emily, can you save one of those 5 canceled rooms for me? I'll pay. I'm not asking for free, just hold one." "Just book it at the front desk," I said. "Or online." "Online's more expensive," he said, smiling. "I was hoping you could pull some strings. You're the owner's daughter, after all. Discount, and all that." "Sorry, I don't have that kind of authority." His smile faded. He looked at me for a second, said fine, and walked off. Then Daniel, then Jessica, then Sarah, one after another. Different words, same request. "Can you make it cheaper? Can you save a room? Can you help us out?" I said no to every single one. At lunch, I sat alone with a plate of ribs and a bowl of soup. The meat was tender, but I had no appetite. My phone buzzed again. My dad this time. "Sweetheart, your mom said there was a cancellation yesterday. Does one of your friends need a room? I'll hold it for them." "No need, Dad," I said, taking a bite. "Just sell it. Really. No need." He asked again. "Just to be sure. What if your friend has nowhere to stay and it hurts their exam? Help them if you can." That's just who my dad is. Kind his whole life. Never once imagined the world had people in it who wouldn't return a kindness. In my last life, he gave away every good room and slept in the staff dorm himself. And what did he get for it? His hotel shut down in one night. A man in his 50s, hair gone white. "Dad, they already found somewhere else. Don't worry." Good, he said, relieved. "Study hard. I'll take you out for a big meal after." On my way to rinse my tray, I ran into a girl from the class next door. She didn't know me, but I recognized her. In my last life, she was one of the few who spoke up for me online. She'd written something like, "I stayed at that hotel too during exam week, and I never heard any construction." She got hundreds of hateful replies for it. People said she was paid off, that she was lying. A sophomore girl, harassed until she deleted her account. During the break, Madison stood up front again. "Everyone, listen. Her voice was more confident than yesterday, like she had real news. One of the hotels agreed to a 50% discount, but it's farther out, about a 20-minute drive. Groans filled the room. 20 minutes? That's too far. What about traffic on exam day? That could turn into an hour. Madison waited for it to die down. I think it's too far too, so I found another option. 10 minutes from the test center, but pricier. Over $400 a night, even discounted. 400? That's $900 for 2 nights. Forget it, I'll stay at school. Same, staying at school is cheaper and less hassle. One by one, people gave up. Madison stood there, glancing at me again, like she expected me to say something. I said nothing. I kept my head down, working through an English worksheet. Before the bell, Mr. Anderson came in one more time. He reviewed the exam rules, then mentioned housing again. I hear some of you are still arranging hotels, he said, neutral. Let me say it again. Where you stay is your business. But don't cause problems for others, especially your classmates' families. Their hotel is a business, not a charity. He glanced at Madison as he said it. Madison lowered her head, bangs covering half her face. After he left, the room was quiet for a moment. Then Olivia spoke, not loud, but loud enough. You're making it sound like we're forcing Emily into something. We just asked, that's all. Exactly, Sarah said. Besides, her family's rich. What's the harm in helping a little? We're not even asking for free. Forget it, Jessica said. We don't understand the world of the rich. Maybe she thinks we're not good enough to stay at her family's hotel. That landed hard. The room went quiet. I sat in the back, catching every word. My fingers gripped the pen so tight my knuckles went white. Not good enough to stay at her hotel. I put the pen down, grabbed my bag, and walked out. Outside the gate, Mr. Anderson was talking to the security guard. He waved me over. Emily, come here. I walked up. He looked at me for a second, adjusted his glasses. Are you okay? I nodded. It's fine. Don't listen to their nonsense, he said, gentle but firm. Your family's hotel is your family's business. It has nothing to do with your classmates. Helping them is kindness. Not helping is your right. Nobody gets to say otherwise. My throat tightened. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Go on now. Study hard. Don't let it get to you. I walked away and put my earbuds in, music loud enough to drown out everything else. 3 days before the exam, school let out for the last time. I looked back at the classroom. The countdown on the whiteboard read a number I'd never forget. Desks in disarray, papers scattered on the floor. I would never sit in that room again. Walking out the gate, sunlight warm on my face. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Sweetheart, all 5 canceled rooms got sold. Full price, not one left. I typed something, deleted it, and finally sent just one word. Okay. I heard fast footsteps behind me. Emily. I turned and saw Madison jogging to catch up. In a white hoodie, hair in a ponytail, a thin sheen of sweat on her face. She stopped a few feet away, catching her breath. Why are you walking so fast? I called your name 3 times. Didn't hear you, I said. Emily, I want to talk about us. We're at least friends, aren't we? You've been avoiding me, and it hurts. Her eyes welled up, voice shaking. She looked genuinely upset. In my last life, when my family's hotel got shut down, she cried in front of a camera. Worse than this, Madison, I wasn't avoiding you. Then why'd you move seats? Why don't you eat with me? Why won't you just answer me about the hotel? 3 questions, back to back, each dripping with grievance. I looked at her face, the same face I'd known for 3 years. Beautiful, gentle, understanding. Every bad test, she was the first to comfort me. Every sick day, she'd copy my notes and bring them over. I thought this friendship would last a lifetime. And it was this same person who destroyed my family. Madison, I said, calm. I already told you the hotel is booked. You asked, I answered. What more do you want from me? She flinched. That's not what I meant. Just what I cut her off. Just because my family has money, I owe you 50 free rooms? Just because I'm your friend, I have to fix everything for you? If I don't help, that makes me stingy, selfish, a bad friend? She stepped back, tears finally spilling. I didn't mean it like that. I really didn't. Then what did you tell the whole class? You stood up there and told everyone my family is rich and 2 nights is nothing to us. How many times have I helped you? When have you ever helped me? Her tears fell harder. I just wanted to find somewhere convenient for everyone. I had no other intention. If it was just about convenience, why bring my family into it? Because your place is the closest. So I should do it for free? She stopped talking, just cried. A few classmates passed by, slowed down, watched us. I ignored them, hitched my bag up, and walked away. Emily, she called after me. I didn't look back. At home, my mom was cooking, apron on, smiling the second she saw me. There's my girl. Wash up. Dinner's almost ready. I hugged her from behind. She nearly dropped the spatula. What's gotten into you? Nothing. Just wanted a hug. My dad came out of his study, reading glasses on. Sweetheart, I'll drive you to the test center both days. No need, Dad, I can walk. It's close. This is the biggest exam of your life, he said, taking off his glasses, looking at me with pure affection. I thought of his white hair in my last life, and my eyes burned. What's wrong? My mom asked, coming out with soup. Nothing. It's the chili. Too spicy. She glanced at my untouched plate, but said nothing. My dad brought up the hotel again. Are you sure your friends don't need a room? Exam week is stressful. If they're staying far and can't rest, it could hurt their scores. That would be awful. I chewed slowly. Didn't answer right away. My dad has always been like this. 15 years running that hotel, he never once turned away a guest who couldn't pay in full. One year, a snowstorm stranded hundreds of travelers on the highway. Every other hotel jacked up their prices. Ours kept the regular rate, gave out free hot tea and blankets. It made the local news. A reporter asked him about it. He just said, everyone's far from home when they travel. It's hard enough already. A man that good, ruined in my last life. Dad, they've arranged their own housing. You don't need to worry. He wanted to say more, but my mom kicked him under the table. Enough. She said it's not necessary, so it's not necessary. He winced and went back to eating. The last day before the exam, I went in just to pick up my admission ticket. Only a few people scattered around, cramming. No Madison, no Olivia. Just a few quiet boys asleep at their desks. I grabbed my ticket and ran into Mr. Anderson at the door. Emily, don't rush to check your answers after the exam. Get some rest. I understand. Thank you, and don't listen to the rumors. Just focus on your test. On exam morning, my dad got up at 6, wearing a red shirt for luck. My mom wore red too, and tucked a lucky envelope into my bag. $66 for smooth sailing. I didn't refuse. The test center was close, a 5-minute walk from home. My dad insisted on walking me there. The entrance was packed. Students, parents, teachers, police, volunteers. Some crying, some laughing, some cramming notes at the last second, some taking deep breaths. I took a breath of my own. The exam. Here I come. First up was English. In my last life, I scored decently. Nothing special. This time, I was ready. The essay prompt was about inheritance. I wrote about my father, a man who treated everyone with kindness his whole life, and what he taught me. By the last sentence, my eyes were warm. Then math, my strongest subject. Last time, I scored well. This time, I was even more prepared. I drilled every tricky problem. When I turned in my paper, I felt certain. Then history, then science. Each test, I felt steadier. When the final bell rang, I set my pen down and exhaled. It's over. I did it. My dad was waiting outside with a bouquet, grinning like a kid. Emily. I ran over, hugged him tight. How'd it go? Really good. That's great, he said, patting my back. Come on, big dinner tonight. My mom appeared with her own bouquet, shooting him a look for beating her to the flowers. He just laughed, sheepish. A few steps later, I saw Madison. Standing near the exit, surrounded by classmates, her face pale. Olivia was talking to her, but she just shook her head, eyes red, like she'd been crying. I kept walking. Our eyes met for a second. Her lips moved like she wanted to say something. I didn't give her the chance. 3 days after the exam, before scores were out, the internet was already buzzing. Score predictions, complaints, comparisons everywhere. Then a post caught my eye. Never stay at this. Hotel during exam week. I clicked. It was about our hotel. The poster's account was brand new. 3 days old, profile picture, a generic flower. The post claimed construction noise ran until 2 or 3 in the morning, that they'd complained to the front desk 3 times, that they only got 3 hours of sleep and bombed their exam. Everyone steer clear. Comments piled up fast. This is unacceptable. A 5-star hotel doing this? Someone should report them. I stared at the screen, hands trembling slightly. In my last life, Madison's post had read almost exactly like this. Construction noise, no sleep, bombed exam. That post started small too, before someone screenshotted it, and it hit the trending page. This time, she never stayed at our hotel. Every room went to strangers, but the post appeared anyway. Same script, different name. I clicked into the account. 1 post. No followers, no following. A default profile picture. Clearly a burner. I took a screenshot and sent it to my dad. Dad, someone's spreading a rumor that our hotel had construction noise during exam week. He called back within the minute. I saw it. It's completely false. There was no construction anywhere near us. The city halted all projects during exam week. I know it's fake, Dad. I'm not worried, but not many people have seen it yet. If we don't act, it could spread. I'm calling the lawyer now. Okay, I refreshed the post. A dozen new comments already. Someone pushed back. I stayed at that hotel too, and I never heard construction. Someone replied instantly. Are you a plant? I've seen this cover-up trick before. Others chimed in. Even if there's no construction, posting lies during exam week is disgusting. Aren't you afraid of karma? I opened the class group chat. It was as busy as ever, hundreds of messages a day. Trip planning, teacher appreciation dinners, funny videos, score predictions. I scrolled up and found a message from Madison. So annoyed I think I bombed math. Couldn't solve the last problem at all. A dozen replies comforting her. I scrolled further back, to the day before the exam. Olivia had asked, Madison, which hotel are you staying at? Far from the test center? Madison replied, staying at a guest house, about 15 minutes by cab. A little far, but everywhere nearby was booked. Jessica wrote, this is all Emily's fault. Her family's hotel clearly had rooms, and she wouldn't spare any. Now we're all scrambling. Nobody replied to that. After a pause, Olivia sent a sighing emoji. Someone else wrote, forget it. You can't force someone who doesn't want to help. Casual tone. Resentment underneath. I opened social media. That post had already been shared by an account with 50 or 60,000 followers, with a dramatic new headline. During exam week, a 5-star hotel's construction disturbs residents. Candidates left with no one to complain to. Only 3 hours of sleep. Over 500 shares. I sent a screenshot to my dad. It's on social media now. Over 500 shares. He replied instantly. I've already got the lawyer gathering evidence. I also had someone pull the security footage from both cameras outside the hotel, facing the street on both sides. It's clear, no construction happened at all. Over the next 2 days, the post kept spreading. More accounts picked it up with bigger headlines. Some claimed the hotel was risking students' futures for profit. It hit over 1 million views. The comment section was a disaster. 99% of it tearing our hotel apart. Then the calls started. City code enforcement, the health department, everything unfolding exactly like my last life. Except this time, the guests actually staying there weren't staying quiet. One guest posted a long message. I was one of the examinees who stayed at that hotel, and I want to tell the truth. I traveled in for the exam and booked this hotel a month ahead. I stayed both nights and never heard any construction. The service was excellent. The front desk even gave me a free breakfast the morning of my exam, knowing I had a test. I don't know who wrote that other post, but I can say for certain I slept fine and did fine. Please don't destroy a good hotel's reputation without proof. The replies tore into her instead. Another plant. How much did they pay you? Only registered 2 days ago. Obviously a burner account. Even 5-star hotels hire professional trolls now. She fired back, defending herself, and got attacked even harder. I watched it unfold with a strange, hollow feeling. In my last life, not one of 50 classmates staying at our hotel said a word for us. In this life, a total stranger spoke up and got accused of being paid off. The internet doesn't care about truth. It wants a villain. Someone gave them one, and they aimed every arrow they had. The turning point came from an official city account, one that rarely posted, with only a few thousand followers. 4 days after the exam, it put out a statement. Regarding the recent claims of construction noise near a local hotel, the city confirmed that all construction within a 2-mile radius of every test center was suspended for exam week, June 7th through 9th. The hotel in question falls within that radius. No construction activity was found nearby. This notice is issued for the public record. Public opinion flipped fast. People started asking, if there was no construction, where did the noise come from? Was it all a lie? Spreading something like that during exam week is beyond messed up. Original poster? Care to show your face? But the account had vanished. The post was still up, but no reply, no defense. Someone dug into the registration data, found the account was created the day the exam ended. IP traced to a residential area nowhere near our hotel. People kept digging. Eventually, someone uncovered the truth. A senior from a struggling family who'd bombed her exam and broken down, venting online. It wasn't Madison. I stared at that, stunned. I checked everything. Every comment, every share. Madison's name appeared nowhere. She hadn't posted, hadn't liked, hadn't commented, nothing. Like she disappeared the day the scores came out. I was home eating watermelon when scores dropped at 3 that afternoon. I was already at the computer by 2:58, heart pounding. In my last life, I scored just barely above the cutoff for a decent school. This time was different. At 3 exactly, I refreshed the page. Total score, 940. English, 210. Math, 230. Science, 220. History, 280. I stared at the numbers for 5 full seconds, then screamed, "Mom! Dad! The scores are up!" My mom rushed in from the kitchen, hands still wet. My dad burst out of his study, losing a slipper on the way. "What did you get?" 940. My mom froze, then pulled me into a hug and started crying. My dad stood there, eyes red, lips trembling, finally managing to say, "Good, good, good," 3 times, each one heavier than the last. The class group chat exploded once scores came in, screenshots everywhere, some celebrating, some devastated. Olivia scored a decent but disappointing number and sent a crying emoji. Jessica said she'd be happy just to get into any state school. Ryan was satisfied and already researching colleges. Daniel sent a single sigh and nothing else. Sarah scored low and left the group chat entirely. I scrolled and scrolled but never saw Madison's score. No post, nothing. But others tagged her. "Madison, what'd you get? Say something." She never replied. 10 minutes later, Olivia wrote, "I just called her. No answer." A few minutes after that, Jessica said, "I called too. It's off." The chat went quiet. Then the speculation started. Did she actually fail? She said she blew the last few problems on math, but turning off her phone entirely? I wanted to know too, not because I cared, because I needed to confirm something. In my last life, Madison scored fine. Not amazing, but fine. And she still blamed the noise from my family's hotel for it. This time, she never stayed there. If she still bombed the exam, that would prove it was never about the hotel. It was her. 3 days later, Madison finally posted in the group chat. I got 670. The chat went dead silent for 10 full seconds, then exploded. What? 670? You always score above 800 on practice tests. What happened? Are you sure that's right? Do you want a regrade? Almost 200 points lower than my last life's version of her exam. Without noise, without construction, without any excuse. She still bombed it. I don't care anymore. I left the group chat, not on impulse. I'd been thinking about it for a long time. I don't need to stay connected to these people. They don't need my help. I don't need their gratitude. Some relationships are better let go than held onto. That night, scrolling on my phone in bed, I got a message from Olivia. "Emily, why'd you leave the group today?" I didn't answer right away. She sent another. "I know you're upset with us, but we were classmates for 3 years. Isn't this a bit much?" Still nothing from me? A third message came through. "Is this about the hotel thing? We were just talking. It's not like we forced you into anything." I read that and felt a bitter smile pull at my mouth. Just talking. And my hotel got shut down. Just talking. And my parents' hair turned gray overnight. Just talking. And my whole life got wrecked once already. Just talking is probably the best excuse in the world. I typed something, deleted it. Not worth it. I deleted her message and put my phone down. Tomorrow, I'm visiting a college. One that's very, very far from here. Far enough that I'll never see any of those faces again.